Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Today is a beautiful day, and as from yesterday or a couple of days ago, the temperature has really risen. Yesterday it got to only about 10 or 11 in the morning. I was thinking, is it just me or is it really hot? And we have these temperature things outside, and it comes into a screen inside, and it said the temperature was 30 degrees, which is 86 Fahrenheit. So that's pretty warm for this time of the year. And then later on the day, about 1 in the afternoon, the cicadas started. Now, we don't normally hear cicadas until about January, which is the middle of summer. So the fact that they were starting to sing yesterday, I think means we're in for a really long hot summer, but it is a really gorgeous day. What I'll do, if I remember, is out the back of our house. We've actually got a really lovely view out the back as well, so I'll just show you a little bit of that later on as well. Now, I've got a really busy week. Today is Monday. It is a public holiday. It is Labour Day here in New Zealand, so the people that are going on holiday will be loving it, that it is gorgeous weather at the moment. But on Saturday, I am going for my holiday, what you guys in the US call a vacation, and I am going to America. First of all, I'm going to LA. I think it is 3 nights, and I'm meeting up with a couple of people. One, I'm meeting up with Liz from Chicago Law Luxury Makeup, and her and I are staying together for the whole time. So we're going to be 3 nights in LA, and then from LA we are traveling to Texas, and we are renting a car and going to be doing a little bit of driving around as well. Now, I am going to be packing the smaller camera that I have, and also obviously I'm going to have my iPhone as well. So I hope to do quite a bit of vlogging. And as well as meeting up with Liz, I'm meeting up with another friend in LA. She's not a content creator, but she's become a really good friend. But when we're in Texas, we are going to be meeting up with another content creator, and that is Heber S. So Liz's channel and Heber's I will put in the description box below if you want to take a look at their channels. So during the last few days of the stay, probably just towards the end, we're going to meet up with Heber and have a good look around, do a bit of shopping, probably have some lunch and just have a really good time. Now, when I started this YouTube channel, if someone said, oh, you're going to make really good friends and you're actually going to meet up with them, I would not have believed them. So I am so excited to be meeting up with these people. It's going to be a fantastic time. This will be the 4th time that I've been to America, and it is fall for you guys, and it's actually a really beautiful time of the year over there. So LA and Texas, I imagine it's going to be fairly warm during the day and then a little bit cooler at night. So I just think that is going to be the perfect weather. So this week I've got to start organising a few things. Now, about a month ago, I did order a few things off Amazon for my trip, and one of them was packing cubes, which I haven't opened yet. So I think I'm going to open these now. I just thought it might help organize my checked in suitcase a little bit more. So I'll just open it up. So on these packing cubes, it says live light and travel far, compact design, easy classification, and it says high density fabric and high quality zippers as well. So let's take a look and see if they're right with that. So this is how they're all initially packed up, and it just undoes there. And then you've got the different cubes inside, and they actually do feel really good quality. So the rest of the cubes are inside this one. So this is the largest one. So it has that mesh, and it does feels quite heavy duty actually. I thought these might be a little bit flimsy, but they feel a lot better than that. And the zippers also feel really good quality as well. And then inside you've got more. It's like those, are they the Russian dolls? Where there's a smaller one inside the other one. That's what it's like with these. But these feel really good quality. The fact that I think you can also wash them is really good as well. I can't remember how many you get. So there's one, there's 2. Let's open up the other one. I'll just find the zipper opening here. So that was the second one. Now we've got the third one. So that was the third one. These are all quite good sizes actually. And then inside is another one. I don't know whether there's going to be another one inside this. Now inside, this one hasn't got netting on it. And then inside that one is this little one here. And this is a little bit different. It's not a square as such. It's just like a pouch with drawstrings at the top. And the material feels really good. Like I said, you'd be able to wash this. And inside this one is this one. I think this is the last one. This must be the last one. And this is the last one here. And this has a little zip on it as well to pop some other things in. So I think these are going to be really handy. I'm probably going to wish that I had bought 2 different lots of these, because I think these are going to be really good just for organising my checked in bag and just keeping things separate. So I'm just going to air them out. I won't be washing them, but I will just air them out because I'll be using these later this week. Now the other things that I picked up from Amazon, and one thing was containers for the carry-on, and because I'm going to be taking skincare and makeup. Now I am going to be taking quite a lot of samples, so I won't be using all of these, but I thought I might need a couple of containers. And I picked up this and I really loved the colours of these, and it also comes in the see-through zipped case as well, but I really liked the containers. So they are screw off, and the containers themselves are really soft. So these should be really good. And also what comes in this container, there are different size bottles. None hold more than 100 mils for liquid, because you're not allowed more than 100 mils with carry-on. But it also comes with a little bottle brush if you wanted to clean things out. Comes with a couple of bottles if you want to spray as well. And then 2 more bottles like this, another large one and a smaller one. So you get 2 of the larger bottles. I'll just hold those up. So 2 of the larger ones, and also a couple of the smaller ones as well. Now I do need to wash all these out. This also comes with a tiny little, very cute, little funnel if you need to pour liquid in. So I think that's really handy. And it also comes with little applicators to scoop product out, because there also is in here, and I will bring them all out. There's also 4 of these little containers as well. So there's 2 white and there's 2 black. And the little applicators that come with these are color coded. So there's more in here. There are 2 of the black, so you know it goes with that one. And then another applicator, the other color is white, so it matches that one as well. So I thought that was really good. So these are going to be very easy to clean. I'm not going to be putting these through the dishwasher. I'm just going to soak them in the sink with some dishwashing liquid just to clean them up. Now I probably won't be using all of these, but I'm glad to have a choice, and I really love the packaging that these come in. And it also comes with, and I don't think you'll be able to see, but there are a whole lot of little labels that come with this. So I've just got to decide, because I do have quite a few samples of different skincare, and the samples are well under 100 mils. So I'll choose between the samples and my usual skincare that I use and decide whether I really need to use that on the plane or not. The flight itself there from Auckland to LA, that is 12 hours long, and it leaves in the evening just after 8 o'clock. So I'll be having dinner on the plane and then do my skincare for the night, and hopefully be able to sleep quite a few hours during what would be our night. And then before I have breakfast, do my skincare again and pop on some makeup. So I just have to figure out which makeup I'm going to take on the plane with me and also which skincare. But I really love these containers. I think they are really handy and I think that they look really nice as well. And I can't remember the price off the top of my head, but they weren't very expensive. And for my makeup, I picked up one of these bags from Amazon. This wasn't very expensive either. Years ago, I had one of these and I purchased it in New Zealand, but I think I had it for at least 10 to 15 years. And whenever I went away, I would use it. I find it really handy to carry the makeup brushes, eyeshadows, your foundations, everything that you need for makeup. So it is fabric on the outside and just has a zip that goes all the way around. I've still got the plastic on the ends that I need to take off. But what I love about these is you can hang them up if you want to. They fold right out and you've got the different compartments for your different things for makeup. But if you don't want to hang it up, because I won't necessarily be hanging it up in the different hotels that I'm staying in, but what I like is you can lay it flat on the bench or lay it flat on the bed and everything is in front of you. You don't have to go searching for what you need. I just find these really handy. And again, sorry, I can't remember the price that this was, but it wasn't very expensive. And it has the plastic at the front so you can wipe over it, and it also has really good zippers as well. These feel really heavy duty, and inside a couple of these bigger pockets, this one and this one here, you also have the elastic band so you can hold products in there as well. Now I won't be putting skincare in here because I do have a separate case for skincare and I've had that for a few years, but that's still in really good condition and I bought that quite a few years ago. I did it mainly when I was traveling around showing Solomon. It was just easy to pack everything in. I was so good at packing then and really quick, and it just seems such a long time ago that I've had to pack for a trip, so I'm a little bit out of practice, but this is going to be really handy. Like I said, I just love them because you can see exactly what's in there. You're not rummaging around, everything's really easy to see. So I just had to change the battery in my camera, but those are the things that I want to show you that I'm going to use for packing. If I get time, I will show you some of the packing that I do. I did pick up a new carry-on suitcase as well, and I'll show you that if I get time. I got a new one because the one that I used to have is just so old, and just by itself it weighs quite a lot, and as you know there is a weight limit for what you can use for carry-on, so I got a new one. It is a Samsonite one, I think, and it is in a cream color and I'm really happy with it. They have definitely improved a lot over the years. So now I'll just go outside. I won't be talking, I don't think, and I'll just show you out the back there so you can have a look, since it is a really gorgeous day out there, and then I'll go into my beauty room and do my everyday makeup. So for today's everyday makeup video, it's going to be a near full face of Chanel. Apart from the eyeshadow primer, I always use a MAC one. I must try some other ones at some stage. Maybe when I go overseas, I may pick up a couple of different eyeshadow primers and give them a go. The other thing is mascara. It's come to the end of its life. It's the Chanel Le Volume one, which I absolutely love, but I've got 2 or 3 open, so I don't want to use another one just yet, and I'm even not sure if I've got a backup. It may be something that I have to pick up when I'm over in America as well. But I have got one of them that is open, is the Charlotte Tilbury, and that one is the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes. I had this in my backup drawer for quite a while and I used it the other day and I've forgotten how much I like it. It is a really good mascara. So I've just reapplied sunscreen because it's been a little while since I was last speaking to you. I've been doing some other things, so I put on some sunscreen again about 5 or 10 minutes ago. The primer that I'm going to use today is the Chanel one. It's right here in front of me. It is the La Base one. This was released this year. I love this and I will get a backup of it. I think it is a really beautiful primer. So I'm just going to pop some of this on and then wait a minute or two and then apply the foundation. So it's not as hot as it was yesterday, but it is still fairly warm, and now it is the afternoon. And although my room is a little bit cooler now that I've got all the lights on, it's probably going to warm up. For foundation, I'm going to use, this is a favorite foundation and beloved by many people. It's the Chanel Ultra Le Velvet Tint. Now, it was either earlier this year or last year. People were saying that it was being discontinued, but the other day when I was having a look at the Chanel site and I was looking at the different foundations, I saw this back up and I clicked on it and all the shades were there. Now, I did let people know in my stories, and now quite a few of these shades have been sold out. My shade is B30 and I think this has been sold out now, but I will put links to this foundation below. But this is a good sign. It means that they were just waiting maybe for more batches to be made. So it could be back in stock again very soon. If you have combination to oily skin, and I think this even works on dry skin, I'm not too sure, but I'd say definitely combination to oily skin, this foundation is absolutely gorgeous. It does what it says. It's Ultra Le Tint Velvet. So it has this beautiful velvet finish. It says it's blurring, smooth effect foundation in a velvet matte finish. And that is exactly what it's like. Now, if the day is going to be really hot, I'll probably apply just a tiny bit of powder over this foundation. But otherwise, this is foundation where I don't even think you need powder. And that's not because it is a drying, flat matte foundation. It doesn't look or feel like that at all. It's just the finish that it gives. It's absolutely beautiful. So one thing with this, you do have to give it a really good shake before you start using it. And I apply this either with a brush or a beauty blender. You say, I wore this and I used a brush, and today I'm just going to use a beauty blender. It applies beautifully with both. This also builds really beautifully, this foundation. I'd say it is a medium finish. So this is the texture of it if you haven't seen it. It's not thick, but it's not overly runny either. So I'm just going to blend it in. Now, not that I'd forgotten about it, but I'd sort of put it to the back of the drawer because I thought that this had been discontinued. And so it's been quite a while since I used it. And when I tried it again a few days ago, I'd forgotten how good it was. And even now, it just has this beautiful, beautiful velvet finish. It's absolutely gorgeous. And even though this looks like it is a teeny tiny bottle, it still has the standard 30 ml of product in it. So I'm just going to just dot the rest on, and you can see on the side what a beautiful finish it gives. Now I could add a little bit more if I wanted to, because as I was saying, this does build up really beautifully, but I like this finish. It's a light medium heading towards medium, and I think that finish is really beautiful. So for the concealer, I'm going to use one that I absolutely love, and that is the Chanel, the Sublimage. I have this in B30. I've also tried the shade in B32, and I really like that one as well. The shade in 32 has a little bit more, maybe slightly more peachiness in it, so you've got a little bit more correcting, but there's nothing wrong with the shade either. I think it gives a beautiful finish. I'm going to take the BK Beauty, this is the Angie Hot and Flashy brush, and just tap that concealer through, and then like I always do, I just press over it using my finger as well. I love this concealer. It is definitely one of my favorites, and I hope to do, and hopefully it will go up while I'm away on holiday, I've got about, I think it might be about 6, 7, possibly 8 concealers. And I want to do a video ranking the ones that I have. It's going to be a hard decision with number 1 because this one is definitely up there. But there's 1 or 2 that come very close as well. So now that I've done that with the brush, I just press it in using my finger. So I've decided to wear my hair back today because since it is warmer, it's just cooler if I can get a little bit of air around my neck, because as I was saying, with the lights on in the room, it will start to warm up and I don't want to start to melt. And just a little bit of eyebrow gel just to keep my eyebrows in place. Not everything I'm going to mention that I'm putting on my face, but everything will be listed and linked below as usual. So I've just powdered under my eyes, and for those of you, I haven't mentioned it for a while, I use a different powder under my eyes than I do for the rest of my face. And the reason is I use a powder under my eyes. I either use the Westman Atelier or the By Terry one, and both have hyaluronic acid in, I think, but really moisturizing ingredients. So it's not really a powder that would work for the rest of my face with my oily skin, but under your eyes you need to keep them really moisturized, and I want my concealer to set, but I don't want a powder that's going to dry them out, because as soon as you start packing on powder under your eyes that is drying, especially with mature skin, that's when the lines start to become emphasized. So I'm pretty fussy with the powders that I put on under my eyes, and I just put on the tiniest amount. I just pick up a bit with my finger, start in the inner corner, and then just pat a tiny amount over just to set it down. So normally I would reach for the Chanel Natural Finish loose powder, but I've just had a feel of my face and it still just has that beautiful velvet finish. So recently I picked up, and this is new to me, this is the Beiges Healthy Glow Sheer Powder, and this has a beautiful glow on it as well. Now I picked it up in B40, although my usual color is B30, so it's just slightly darker, so it just gives that really beautiful glow. So I am still going to add a little bit of bronzer as well, but first of all I'm just going to start off with this, and I'm just using the Sonia G brush, and I'll put it on like it is going to be a bronzer, so I don't put too much on, but you can see it's subtle, but it just starts to give a really beautiful healthy glow. Then I'm going to take the Chanel, this is the Healthy Glow Sun Kiss Powder. This one is in the shade medium, and I also have the one in deep as well. I'm going to stay with the same brush. I'm only going to pick up a little amount. Just want to add just a little bit more of a bronze. And just what's still left on the brush, I'm just going to put that round the perimeter through here. And for the eyeshadow today, I'm going to use the Chanel Beiges, the Healthy Glow eyeshadow palette, and this is in the one medium, and I used this the other day. I only used 3 of the shades. It's very simple, very light, but I thought the end result looked really pretty, so I thought that I would share it with you. This is available. If you don't have this palette, I recommend it. I think it is really gorgeous, and you can get quite a few different looks with it, especially with this darker color. Now, I don't use a lot of this shade today. I will use a little bit of it as an eyeliner, but you could use it more if you wanted more of a deeper look. So I'm going to go into this shade here, and I take this over the lid. Now this look is very simple, and today I'm going to be using the Chanel brushes that I've got in my collection. I've only got 2 or 3 different Chanel brushes. This is number 200. Then pick up a little bit more and then just do the other eye. So it's all over the lid, through the crease, and take it above as well. Then just using the other end of the brush, I'm going to stay with the shade, and I'm going to run a little bit of this on the lower lash line. Then I'm taking the brush 201, I'm going to go into the shade here, and I'm going to pack quite a bit on the brush, and I'm going to pack this all over the lid. So just slowly just tap it on. I think that the shade is really beautiful, and I'm often tempted, and it's because it suits me. I put a darker shadow in the outer part of my eye here and sweep it up, and it does suit me, and I could do with this palette with the darker shade, but I refrained from doing that the other day and just use these two shades on the lid, the darker shade as a liner, and I thought the end look was really lovely. Then I've just wiped that brush down, and now I am going into the darker shade. So I'm just going to use the very end of this brush. So just going in to that darker shade and just going to use it as a liner. Now I have pressed it into the upper lash line, but I've also just taken it just slightly above as well. I don't want a thick line there, but just a little bit, just so you can see a little bit of the darkness. And then I'm also going to put the shade on my lower lash line as well, and I'm just going to again just push it into the lash line, and I'm going to take that all the way across. I'm just putting on just the smallest amount though, and then exactly the same on the other lid. So I just run the brush back and forth, very gentle, but it's right at the root of the lashes to begin with. And I don't tend to put a lot of powder on the brush, just a little bit at a time. I can always add a little bit more if I need to. And as I was saying at the beginning of the video, the Chanel Le Volume Mascara, which is one of my favourites, has sort of come to its end. And this is the Charlotte Tilbury one that I bought as a backup quite a long time ago. So I thought it was time to pull it out and use it. The Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes. This is the one with the wand, and it is flat on either side. Just hold up, so it's flat there, flat on the other side, and then at each end you've got the bristles. So how I use it is I use the flat side first, and I use it to push up the lashes. So it's the flat side first, and then I use the edges. I go over it again and use the edges, and that's where you get the volume as well. And for blush, I'm going to use one of the ones that came out for the Chanel Fall, and this is the one in Mauve. So I'm just going to use the Chanel blush brush, just put a little bit on. I'll add some more if I need to, but I don't want the look to be too heavy. The eye looks very light, so I want to keep the cheeks fairly light as well. And then I am going to add a little bit of highlight today. I'm going to use the brand new, this is the Chanel Sublimage Lumiere, the liquid highlighter. I think this is a really beautiful product. I'm going to put a full pump on. I did a dedicated video on this, and I'm going to just tap a little bit just on the high points. In the video that I did, I also mixed this with the foundation as well. I love this. It gives, I called it a twinkle in the original video, and I still think the same. It doesn't look chunky and glittery, but you do get that really subtle twinkle through the high points. And once this sets down, you can't feel it. It's not tacky in any way. And then for the rest, I'm going to add, and I mentioned this before, that I never really do, but with this, because it is so subtle, I add a little bit through the nose and just a touch just on the high points, just through here as well. And like I was saying, once it sets down, doesn't feel sticky or tacky, and it doesn't move any product underneath as well. It really is a lovely product. And finally, lipstick, and I'm going to keep this fairly neutral as well. So I was about to reach for my headband, take that off and shake all my hair out, but I'm leaving my hair like this. It's starting to warm up in the room, and it's because my hair is off my neck that I'm not getting too hot. So here is the finished look. And I love it. It's very simple. I only use 3 of the shades from that Chanel Beiges, the Healthy Glow eyeshadow palette. And I think it's really, really pretty. So this for the liner, this shade all over the lid, and this one I just tapped on over this shade here, just in there, and I think it is really lovely. I've got to start making decisions about what eyeshadows that I'm going to take with me. And recently I've been using one thinking I'm definitely taking this one, and now that I've used this a couple of times, it's like I definitely want to take this one as well, but I can't take them all. So I'm going to have to sit down, maybe take 1 or 2 shadows from my very favorite brands and just stick to that. The foundation, the Ultra Tint Velvet, is beautiful. I love this on my oily skin. And even now, even though it is getting pretty warm in this room, as I'm touching it, I don't feel like that I need to powder. Now, that's not saying that if I was in this room and in this warmth for another half hour, I probably would need to powder, but it wouldn't be a lot. I'd probably just dust on, just a light dusting of the Chanel Natural Finish Loose Powder or one other of my powders that I use. But at this stage, I don't need to. Such a beautiful foundation. I think it does blur to some degree. It builds beautifully if you need to, and super flattering on mature skin. It doesn't settle into fine lines. Just a gorgeous foundation. The fall blush is beautiful. That mauve one is just gorgeous. I only used just a little amount, and I think it gives a beautiful wash of color to the cheeks. The Chanel Sublimage Lumiere highlighter is beautiful. I have been using it a lot. For me, it is subtle, and that's the reason that I reach for it. And I really do like, and I think I do almost prefer liquid highlighters as long as they're subtle over powder ones. I just think that just a little bit more flattering on mature skin. And of course, a neutral Chanel lipstick, you can never go wrong. So that's it for today's video. I would love it if you gave it a like and subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye.